All right, so we just came past where that signal house there and the mile marker was. I should have checked my geocaching app when I was there the first time, because that's where one of the geocaches that I was looking for was at. It was in that area. So we are headed back down to where we started, but there's going to be some stops along the way to do some exploring. So I am going to be stopping down here at this bridge that we passed through, or went across here earlier. I want to see if my assumption is correct. Okay, so I investigated that bridge back there a little bit further, and no, I was not correct. It was not the canal we crossed over. It was just a small creek that was there that goes underneath the bridge. So I can't remember anymore if the Schuylkill Canal was on the Spring City side of the river or the Royersford side of the river. Okay, so I brought up my map as I was driving here, and yes, the canal is on this side of the river. So this signature that I'm seeing, this ditch off to the left here, which when we get further down past this house, it's a little bit better to see. I'll show it to you, but the canal is on this side of the river. And somewhere down in that parking area, there was supposed to have been an aqueduct down there that took the canal, over another body of water. But I highly doubt that that's there anymore. That abandoned house that's back there, or shack, or whatever you want to call it, looks like it could be used maybe in the summertime for something. I don't know. There's a John Deere tractor back there that's fairly new, covered up, and there's lots of wood there, so not quite sure if it's occupied all year long or not.
The bike.
So down here, you'll be able to see it better since we're headed this way. Be able to see where the railroad branches off and how wide it gets with all the tracks that were along here for the Cromby Generating Station down there. But there is a path down here that I'm going to be pulling off on and going back to explore a little bit. I want to see if that'll take me back to maybe that bridge that goes across the river there, to see if we can get over onto the other side at some point and maybe explore the Silton Basin that's over there. One lonely railroad tie I've found so far along here, and I just passed it back there. It was on the right-hand side there, but hardly found any railroad ties. But right here is where it starts to get a little squirrely here, as far as where the railroad used to be and versus the trail here today and everything. So right over here is where the railroad bed is, and then the trail was put in here. Now whether there were more tracks here for, you know, the service the generating station down there, I don't know unless I bring up look at old satellite images again. But definitely for sure right there is a bed, and there's the ties to go along with it are down there, and where I found that rail was right down in there somewhere. So but I'm gonna go down here and check out this area a little bit more, walk down this pipeline that I'm sitting on here down by the river, and see if we can find more of the canal down there. So I ventured off the trail because it doesn't say any signs, no trespassing or anything, but the trail's right up there. But I wanted to come down here and look for the canal. So this is one of the pipelines that I mentioned earlier that serviced the generating station down there. This is owned by Adelphia Gateway, so that looks like it's about a 18-inch pipe there, which crosses over the Schuylkill River down here. But I'm not finding any remains of the canal down here either, so maybe this, maybe it came out already. I'm not quite sure. But, haha, looky what I just found. Look at that. There's the bridge I'm looking for. So now this really has my curiosity. Can that bridge be accessed easily and safely and everything else? But they have a big sign here on either side of the river. They had one up in Sanatoga, or up there close to the Sanatoga Desilting Basin up there, along the trail up there past Frick's Lock. They had one of these on the river, along the river too, for the cable crossing that went up there. Do not dredge or anchor right here, because there is a pipeline there. But that's got my curiosity now, if I can get to that bridge. So here is a view of the bridge down here by the river. Decided to walk down here, and this is pretty nice down here. This would be a nice fishing spot right here too. But this bridge really has my curiosity now. So now I'm gonna go back up, get back on the trail, go down a little bit further. And I thought I saw a path down here just a short distance away to, it might take me back to this bridge, because if we can get back to it and no signs or anything like that, we're gonna cross it. All right, so I made my way in off the trail up there, and I came down to here, and I see the rail line is right there, but there's still fencing up there. So that line is actually on the property of the generating station. So I'm gonna walk down here a little bit, see if I can find a way to get up there to that bridge. All right, so I came down the trail and found a way to get up here on top of this bridge. And the only thing that it has here is this gate, which is part of the generating station's property or anything. So there's no signs on it or anything. And it's open to get into. There's no fence to climb over or anything. So here is the bridge. And this is a unique bridge because it's got a turn in it. I've never seen a railroad bridge like this before, but this looks pretty sound here. There's areas to walk on either side of it. So there's no signs or anything, not fenced off, open door policy. All right, so I ventured a little bit out onto the bridge here to check out the river and everything, but I don't want to venture too far out here. Number one, my scooter is back there. I don't want to leave that sitting. And two, I'm going to continue this explore with another person. So you can probably guess who that's going to be when I get a hold of them. So, but this is so cool. This is a neat bridge. And yeah, the person I'm going to be bringing back down here with me, I'm sure he's going to enjoy this too. So, but we're going to go back and get back to the scooter and everything and venture back down the trail. So back out on the trail once again, and that is pretty cool there, what I found. And I missed this my first time going up there. And this here looks like this was a looks like this could have been a battery box here for a signal. So missed that before. So I'm just looking around here too, and I don't see anything else of the railroad. But let's see if we can get back here and find one of the two switches that was here yet. It's right around in this area here where I'm at. That's probably why I missed that box the first time, because I was more concerned about finding the switch. And here is one of them. So there is the one switch that's there. So this starts going into, should have gone into 2 tracks, but doesn't look like there's anything else there that it would go into. There's no other tracks going off or anything. It's just the single track through there. But this whole area here that you can see, it's definitely wide enough that this had multiple tracks here. So we're going to venture down here, and right here at the battery box is another switch that's in here, but I don't know if this one here, if there's more than one track in here or not. I'll have to look when I get closer to the fence. So it's going to be a little tough to zoom in here with the fence and everything, because the phone will want to focus on the fence. But right over there you can see the switch, and yes, it does branch off. At this point it branches off to 2 more lines, 2 lines going down through here, and then the battery box or whatever is right there. So hopefully, again, I can get some interesting old satellite photos of this area, and you can see the whole layout here of the tracks and everything, because this was definitely had a lot of tracks in here and fed by 2 different rail companies. So it looks like there is 1, 2, 3 lines over there on the left-hand side. So there's probably another switch back there that I missed, but there may even be 4 now. So there was 1, 2, 3, yeah. Now it branched off into 4 lines. So that is definitely a yard over there where they had all the cars, the siding and everything, where the cars were either full or empty. But down here is going to be another stopping point, because there's something else down here that I wanted to, that I saw on my way up here. So right here, you can see straight out through there, you can see where the Pensy line would have went out there. And then the trail is going to turn to the right here. But our area of interest is right here on the right. I saw something laying in a ditch down here, and I'm wondering what it is. So the thing that I found and piqued my interest is this thing right down here. This is some kind of car of something. I'm not sure if it's rail related or not, but it definitely has you know, doors on it right there that you can see. But this is down here in this ditch, and there's a huge huge pipe there that goes underneath the underneath all the where the railroad yard would have been, and underneath all the tracks and stuff. But I'm not quite sure what that thing is. But if anybody has any ideas, you can leave it down there in the comments. So this line, electric line that's here, I don't know if this was one of the lines that would have fed into the plant here, because it stops up here where this fenced off area is and goes underground. So I'm wondering if this was part of the electric supply to the plant. But this definitely warrants a drone flight, but I don't believe it's going to be today. I believe I'm going to come back when it's real still out, because the wind is still blowing a little bit for my liking. So we are definitely coming back and flying this. All right, so I wanted to take these off here with the action camera here, that you can actually hear all the humming and all the noise coming from that substation that's in there, with all the fans running to cool the transformers and all that electricity in there. You definitely do not want to go in there and mess around, and also there are cameras all around there too monitoring it, so you don't want to go past that gate. But definitely when I come back here again, I am definitely going to be exploring this part, because most likely if I go to explore that railroad bridge over there, we are going to be walking and not taking the scooters or anything. So maybe we'll go and follow that trail out through where I saw the other guy walking, because there's no signs that are saying no trespassing or anything, and we're well outside of the gates of the facility here and everything. So that'll be in a future video. There's a real good shot of what the substation looks like. And it looks like, yes, even in the distance over there, you can't zoom in there, but there is Reading and Northern coal cars sitting on the track over there. They weren't there before. I wonder if that train is stopped for a signal, because the Black Rock Tunnel is just off to the right, which the railroad goes across the Schuylkill River, and it goes from 2 tracks to 1 track through the tunnel, and then back out into 2 again on the other side. But that is interesting. All right, we are just about back at the parking area, and I have enough battery left in the scooter. In fact, I only went through 1/8 of a battery, venturing from here up to Spring City. So we are going to head down the other part of the path, probably down to the next trailhead, which I forget the name of it, but we are going to be crossing over Fillmore Street And there's an interesting landmark there, which if I can see it from the trail here, I will stop and show it to you. And most likely that will be another video sometime in the future, but that one there has to be done with the second person. So you can tell it's getting later in the day. There's more people out here at the on the trail, and more cars in the parking lot. But we don't have that far to go to get to the next destination here. And this here was definitely wide enough for 2 tracks. In fact, I know there was 2 tracks through here through old photographs of the landmark that's going to be down here. In fact, I just saw some remains off to the right there. There's a whole bunch of old railroad ties laying. So the trail, I believe, yes, the trail is going to continue on straight ahead, and it's going to work its way into a, or no, I'm sorry, it's not going to go to the left. It's going to go continue straight through there, and it's going to go into a big ditch, or should say valley or whatever, cutout is what the word I'm looking for. So we are going to be going up that hill, and hopefully the scooter will make it up the hill. If not, I'm going to be pushing it. So the rail trail is right out there, and I didn't realize I was this close to it, but this will explain why the trail is going up such a steep hill and not actually following the railroad bed through that cut. You're going to love this. And that's the reason why right there. That is the Phoenixville tunnel of the Pennsylvania Railroad Schuylkill Valley branch. So at one time there were 2 tracks going through that tunnel, but then as the trains got bigger and wider, I guess they made it down to 1 track going through there. So you can see down in there and everything. And let me see if I can bring this out and make it a little bit wider for you. So there we go on the wider part. So now you can actually see there's the cutout and there's the tunnel. So this is not that terribly long of a tunnel, but the reason why they did not put the trail through here is because in the center of the tunnel, part of it collapsed. Part of the ceiling collapsed, because Fillmore Street is right up here, and it was from the heavy truck traffic going across and over the tunnel caused part of it to cave in, the roof part of it to cave in. So there is now a weight restriction on Fillmore Street because of this tunnel right here. This tunnel is accessible. It is fair game, open to the public, because I was in that tunnel 6 years ago. In fact, it'll be 6 years in April, when it's probably when you're going to see this video, in April. So 6 years to the month. I was in this tunnel with a group of people. We were geocaching, and we did find the geocache that's was in this tunnel, and there was at least 10 of us here. So would like to go back in there and document that, but I am not doing it by myself. That is going to require a second or more people to do this, but I believe we can still access it yet on the other side of Fillmore Street. I'll probably have to park at the trailhead and walk up and down along the development to get to it, because I am not climbing down this right here. This is not easy to climb down, and even further back you can't get down there because it's all private property, and this gets real deep, the cut here, real quick. So, but There you can see the Phoenixville tunnel. So I came up to the top, and Fillmore Street is right there, but I saw this interesting tower here and thought maybe it was for the borough, but I'm seeing a number on the side there, and it's saying NS 27754. I wonder if this might be for Norfolk Southern, if this was one of their towers here for the railroad, and they have it here because it's a high point. If it's wrong, I will correct myself at the bottom, but that is definitely a number there for something, so I'll have to look that up and see what that means. All right, so I see where they filled the cut in dramatically since I was here last, which probably explains why the water isn't in there like it used to be. But the cut is right over in here, so we're going to go down to the trailhead here just to say I was down there, turn around and head back up, and then I'll give you the shots and everything, because you don't have to walk all the way around anymore either to get pictures of the tunnel, which I'll show you when we get back up there. So we are down here at the trailhead, and this is where we are going to be turning around and heading back. And in case you're wondering what that trailhead is down there, that is the Mallory Road trailhead, and that is also High Street down there for Phoenixville Borough. So we are going to go up the hill here, and I'll show you the cutout and how to get pictures of the tunnel. So here we are facing the south portal of the tunnel, and here is that housing development over here. Now, 6 years ago when I was here, I had to actually walk down and down into the cut, and you can see it is all filled in now. It is all level and everything, but I did not have the descent that you're going to have if you want to go down there to find the geocache or get better pictures of the tunnel, because that is a very steep descent, and it was not like that 6 years ago when I was here. But there is definitely still water in the railroad bed yet, but you can get along the sides there and everything with no problem, with most likely just regular footwear on, I should say hiking boots on or whatever. But that just gives you an idea there, and I'll zoom in here, maybe you can see the cut a little bit better. So they were zoomed in just a little bit more, but yep, this is definitely going to be a future video, but again, it is going to be with another person. And as far as rails go, there are no rails out here in the bed or anything there, but there are rails inside the tunnel yet, and it is just a single track going through there. And I forget the actual date of the tunnel. There is a date on the south portal end here. I'd have to go back and try and find my photos from when I was geocaching back in 2017 and see if I can find the date when the tunnel was built. And then here is the other end of where they filled in, and the cut there with all the water laying in it. So yes, it was a little tight here, but there were 2 tracks here at one time. But never going to see another train coming through here again. So we are making our way back to the car. Going to be crossing over Fillmore Street again and heading back to the car, and we are going to wrap up the video here. I could probably go further on the trail with the scooter, but it's getting later in the day here, so I will not be venturing any further. And besides that, this video is probably long enough as it is. So hopefully you enjoyed that video of this section of the Schuylkill River Trail that I explored from the Cromby Trailhead up to Bridge Street up there in Spring City, and then back down to the Mallory Road Trailhead on the other side of Fillmore Street there in the Phoenixville borough. So again, I will be coming back to this area at some point to explore those items that I've showed you there, but I got to coordinate schedules and everything to have at least one other person here with me when I do this and everything. So it was a good day for a ride. There were lots of people out on this trail, more than what I thought there was going to be for being the middle of the week here and everything, but it was definitely a nice day to do some riding. So if you did like the video, please give it the thumbs up. Also, if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button down there. If you just found it recently and you like the content that I'm creating here, consider subscribing. And if you like the content and want to be notified when I upload new content to YouTube, you can ring the bell down there in the corner as well. And again, thank you to the new subscribers here and everybody that follows me on the other social media platforms out there. So until next time, it's have a ball and do it all. We'll see you soon.